And
Yeah.
here we are back again.
Hi,
Collard greens
everybody.
and sushi.
My house is looking crazy.
It's the
Welcome
same.
to collard greens and sushi. I'm back by the light,
Bookcase.
y'all. So yay. back in my spot with my ring light. With my ring light. Girl, what's going on? We're here.
Nothing much. Nothing much. We're back again. Yay, in full effect. That's Melinda.
Hi y'all. My forehead look real big. I'm looking like Rihanna right now.
She's very successful, so we'll take
She
it. We'll take it. We'll take
I
it.
say that all the time. Like Yui's always like, "Oh, my forehead." I was like, "Girl, Rihanna got a big forehead. She worth $1 billion." So
Yes, this is
have a
very
big
true.
forehead all day long.
All day long. There's quite a few people. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but they're off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are
But
sorry, but
mm,
mom jokes. But there are definitely quite a few people that are successful. Oh, Tyra Banks. That's what I was gonna say.
yeah,
Tyra Banks. Tyra
Tyra. Oh
Banks.
no, with Tyra, I can take her, leave her. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the
Hmm.
hugest, but like if I would say anybody, like the person who sticks out of my mind is always Rihanna, because
Rihanna.
Rihanna's gorgeous, she's sexy, sexy. I can't even
It's
talk.
okay.
She's sexy, but her forehead is like this. Her cranium is huge. I'm just like, they must have used the forceps when her mother was giving birth to her, because her dome is big. And none of you Rihanna folks, please don't come after me because I'm talking about Rihanna. I love her. I love her. I could never. It's probably why. She's amazing.
Well, irregardless of that, I
Yeah.
think irregardless is not a word. Regardless of
It's
that,
not, but that's
it's
fine.
not.
That's okay, Kelsey.
It is very
New,
much not a real word, but
new word, y'all. Irregardless. Irregardless, because she says it all the time.
not me making words up over here.
Yeah.
Let me stop with that. I
It's,
think she's beautiful, you're beautiful, so it's wonderful. It's all
mm,
good and
mm.
everything. So
Thank you. You're beautiful
you're beautiful. Thank
too.
you. That makes me feel so special. I was about to tell you the story. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to go to a meeting. Well, not a meeting. It's an emergency practice, like earthquake practice, because in Japan, earthquakes pretty much
Okay.
happen all the time.
Right.
And I have to go pick my kid up from her school. And you have to, like, imagine that it's an earthquake, and I guess I would be miraculously able to go walk to wherever I'm walking from to pick
Right.
her up. I guess that's
Right.
the scenario that we're rolling with.
Of course.
Um, I'm actually not really sure the purpose of this, I guess, other than to know where their classroom is, maybe, I guess, because I envision, like, when I was here for the March 11th earthquake in 2011,
Right.
I was at work with other kids, and yeah, I didn't have a kid then, so I couldn't tell you. But most of the
Mhm.
parents, like, some of them did walk, some of them did drive, some of them rode bicycles or whatnot. But I mean, they didn't even pick the kids up from the school itself. They came to the temple. I worked at a school that was owned by a temple during that time.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess it's just to really know where the classroom is, and maybe I guess to put a face with the parent, maybe, or the guardian.
I mean, that makes sense. I
Yeah,
think
it could be
that's,
that.
preventative, and you should always have that exit plan. But yeah, I don't know, because again, that's a perfect scenario. Perfect
Hmm.
scenario is, oh,
Hmm.
there's a massive earthquake, and okay, it's finally stopped shaking. Let me go walk and get my child, kind of,
Yeah.
which in a way I understand, because that's where your kid would be,
Right.
um, but yeah, again, like perfect scenario. I mean, like
Right.
you said, you
Right.
were you were there, when the last big earthquake hit. So
And it was not like that. I mean, we were
right,
there until like
exactly,
7 o'clock at night. People were trying to come get their kids.
exactly,
So
exactly. So you know that this is just
yeah, it's
you
just
know
practice.
precaution. Like here,
Yeah, exactly. So there are a lot of kids in her school. There's a lot of classes. Like
right,
the first class of students, the first year students, there's like 7 classes. It's crazy. And they
Okay.
got like 30 something kids in each class. So, do the
Okay.
math. That's a lot of kids.
That's a lot.
So, she was like, she drew a map of where to go once I get to the campus. And then she was like, don't go to the wrong floor. Don't go to the wrong classroom. Do not be that gaijin mother in the wrong floor, on the wrong floor, in the wrong classroom. Like, I'm here to pick up my child. And I'm like, first of all, that would probably be me.
I was
But
like,
second of all, I would be wonderful with it. I'd be fabulous. And then they would never
right.
forget me. So, but
I was
no,
gonna
I'm not
say,
gonna
I'll
go
be
to the
like, I
wrong.
don't go to this school, sure.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not,
I'm
I
I'm
don't
not
know what's
afraid.
happening. Is your
Right. I'm
class
not afraid to be
urgent? Can
like,
I
I don't know where I
please?
am. Can you assist me? Do your job, administrator or whoever you are, janitor, hallway guard, whatever. So it's okay. Like, I'm not afraid because at this age, if you make a mistake or you need help, I feel like
Right,
it's not that big of a deal to just be,
right,
help me.
right,
Let me ask someone.
right.
So I was like, well, you can ask your dad. And she was like, no. And then I was like, okay, so I guess it's going to be me. And, and so she drew this map out for me. And, she was like, I'm just telling you, not because you're a foreigner, but because I went to the wrong classroom the other day. And then I was like, oh, do tell. And she was like, she was, doing something. I don't remember the full story, but basically it boiled down to there was a class like walking up the stairs in front of her. So she said, usually she just walks up the stairs to the floor and follows the people in front of her, which I'm like, that's
Oh,
probably not good. I'm gonna need you to know what
where you
floor and
going?
where you going? Because you followed them upstairs to, jump off the roof. Like, where you
Exactly. I
need to
was
know
gonna
where you're
say. I'm
going.
like, sure,
And
they getting you to slavery. Like, what? You can't
exactly,
just be following people.
this is like, and I don't, we'll have to get into it because I just don't know if this is my child or what. So she followed this class up the stairs to the
Okay.
special education classroom. And she was like, they just look like regular kids. So I thought they were in my class. They all have the same uniform on. But
Okay.
apparently the class that she was following was not her class. It was the special education class.
Right.
And when she got to the actual classroom, she was like, oh, that's not my classroom. Okay. So she went the other way. And that was like, I guess an older kid's classroom. I should have prefaced this by saying her grade is like on separate floors. So some of them have classrooms on maybe, let's say, the second or
Okay.
third floor. And
Right.
then some of her grade has classes on maybe the fourth and fifth floor. So they're
Okay.
not all
So
on the
they're
same
split up.
floor.
Yeah, they're not
Right.
together.
So they're split up. So I
Mhm.
kind of get that. And she said she went to another classroom and she's like, this is not the right floor. So someone that works at the school, she doesn't know if it was a teacher, hallway monitor, she don't know who it was. Just some old man was like, are you lost? And she was like, I am.
Oh,
And she
Gigi
said,
to the rescue.
she was like, I'm this grade student in this classroom. And then that person didn't even know where the classroom was himself. He was like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
Gigi, not to the
He
rescue.
gonna pull out, the little map and was folding it and was like,
Oh Lord.
and he was like, well, let's go downstairs and ask someone where that classroom is. So I guess they went and asked another teacher and figured it out. But she said that that teacher ended up like telling, I guess that administrator or whoever ended up telling all the teachers that my kid was lost in the hallway and went to the wrong classroom. She didn't go in the
Right.
older kid's classroom. She just went to the outside of it.
Right.
And so she said her teacher mentioned it in the classroom. And she said it was like in a K-drama. Everybody turned around and was like, like, you went to the wrong classroom? And
Classroom.
she was like, I didn't go in the classroom, but she said it was like super embarrassing that everybody in the class heard,
Oh.
which I can imagine. But I
Yeah.
think the thing is, I said, why didn't you say like, "Totomate"? Like, why didn't you tell the teacher I didn't go in the classroom,
Classroom. Right.
But she was just like, no, I just I didn't want to talk about it anymore. I just wanted to
Oh.
move on. So she said they were in the middle of like doing something, and the teacher was walking around the class to make sure the students were doing it correctly. And when he got to her, he was like, so and so, I heard you went into the wrong classroom yesterday. And he didn't say it loudly, but how he said it, she was just like, everybody heard. And everybody stopped, like they just stopped what they were doing
Gee
and just looked at her.
whiz.
Yeah, and I was like, well, now you're famous. And she said she wasn't really mad at her teacher, but she was really upset at like the old man or whoever, the person that worked in the school that told everyone. And I was like, you were the main character in his
I was
story
gonna say,
that
so
day.
wait, she can't be mad at Gigi because Gigi ain't know
No,
where he was going either. And at the
exactly.
end of the day, she had to ask Gigi for help because she didn't know where she was going. Like, so you can't be
Exactly.
mad at somebody trying to help you. He was just letting folks know, like, oh, she, this little girl was lost and I tried to help
But,
her, but I wasn't
right.
sure what to do. You can't be mad at him for that. Don't be
I
talking
told
about
her,
Gigi.
you made that man's day because you made him useful.
I was
You
gonna
made he was pulling that little map out
he sure was.
and trying to figure it out. He was
He
like,
sure
I did
was.
something today.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, she
Y'all,
was
let me
just
tell
like,
you, older people in Japan, they gonna find a way. They gonna figure it out. They gonna, like Kelsey said, he gonna take out that little map. He gonna fold that map 20 times. He gonna flip it over. He gonna look at it upside down. He gonna look at it the right way. He's gonna figure it out. They are going to figure it out. Even if
yes.
you're like, yo, it's okay. They like, nah. They like, but you know what? I feel like that's old people everywhere. It helpful old people, not crotchety.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
You got
So
your crotchety
yeah,
old folks that just hate the world
not
and they want to die.
crotchety.
And then you got, the old
crotchety old
folks
folks.
who, really want to, like you said, be helpful.
Yeah.
It gives them like, oh, he probably thought about, I remember when I was young and I got lost and went to the
Yeah, exactly.
like that probably brought back so many memories for that man. So sure, don't be throwing Gigi under the bus.
Yes,
Don't be throwing that man under the bus.
He was trying to help you. You were the main character for him that day. He was like, I
Yes.
helped so and so, and I showed them the way.
Exactly.
And he's not gonna mention that he didn't know, but he didn't know. But he did show you the way.
He'll never mention he didn't know. That I agree. He'll never say that. But I love. Wait, so how big is her school? Like, how many floors?
It's massive. Like, they have a college campus map. So yeah, so she was like, don't get lost like me, because you'll be, not only will the daughter have gotten lost, the mother would have gotten lost. But I'm like, I can read a map. Also, I can follow people and I can determine that they are probably going the same direction that I'm going.
Right.
But also, another thing about being in Japan is that, like probably being a Black person in America, you're never really alone. You always have someone watching you.
Always.
And you always have someone in your business.
Always.
So every time that I have went to this school, someone has come up to me and been like, oh, hi, you're so-and-so's mom. Or are you so-and-so's mom? Or, oh, I like your shoes. You're so-and-so's parent, aren't you? So I'm not worried, because I'm not going to be alone. Someone's going to see me and they're going to come up to me and talk to me and ask me something, or they're going to stare at me until I ask them or introduce myself.
Right.
You're never really truly alone, at least in Japan, just like, in the States. You're never really truly, there's always someone in your business.
There's
watching
always,
always someone watching you,
always.
looking at what you're doing.
But you know what? You need, like, I was thinking to myself, like, because I'm constantly going back and forth with I should have raised kids in Japan. I should have did this. I'm kind of, you know what? For my ego's sake, I'm glad that I didn't raise the kids in Japan. Because let me tell you, I will walk in there like I was Beyonce. Every school event, I'll be.
You should, yeah. Every time I do that.
She's there. Yes. Signing autographs. Hello. How are you? Oh, let me talk to your young. Can you say hello? Oh, I will be clowning. And
I mean, most of the time, yeah.
I get it that a lot of, I won't say a lot, but you definitely have foreign people who live in Japan who get fatigued and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be, the foreigner. I don't want to be in the spotlight. And yeah, I can get tiresome. But again, my ego, I would literally Beyonce every time I came to the. I'm like, oh, y'all want me to sing a little song too?
Your theme music when you enter.
It would be horrible. And I think my kids would be mortified.
They'd be like, "Oh, please don't come, please don't." Yeah, no, I mean,
Mortified.
I think I agree with you. For the most part, it's like that. But sometimes I'm just not feeling it. And
Right.
there is this one old man in my neighborhood. Sometimes we would come home at the same time, so I would see him, he would see me. And usually, when your eyes lock, people would like bow or
Yeah.
smile or something. He just looked angry and bitter every
Yeah.
day. He'd be walking his dog, and he looks the same way. And I noticed that sometimes when so there's also someone who doesn't pick their dog shit up that does it near my car, and it pisses me off. So I'm trying to catch that person. But I don't it's not him because
Yeah, to
I
set
don't
up
think
the
it's him.
camera.
I know, right? They always do it on the
Yeah.
side. It's in the
They
side
probably do
gravel.
it so you can't see with the camera. You're gonna have to
Exactly.
actually set up a camera and catch them.
I think that's how they're doing it. It's gonna happen one day. But this man, I think he cleans up because he has a bag with him and whatnot. And I mean, he could just be carrying a bag around, just to be carrying it around. I don't know. But I caught him one day. You know how when people stare and then they just keep going, he turned back around and stared again. So you're obviously interested, sir. So the next time that I ran into him, when he was staring at me, just hard, like he had never seen a black person in real life. Like
I
he
mean,
not like are you real, but just like maybe it's not real. A kind of
right,
stare like
right. No,
maybe that's
what you
not a
mean.
black person.
No, because that's how I used to stare at the Amish when I would see the Amish, and I would be like, "Oh my god,
That's real?
they really do wear those little bonnets." Like,
Oh, that's so
like, oh
cute.
my gosh, I'm like, I want to look, but I don't want to look. I want to look, but
Yeah,
oh my
it's like
gosh, the
that.
boots. I'm like, do they have a buggy parked outside the airport? Like, yes,
Did they
like.
did they have a buggy?
So when I used to take Messiah Apple when he was little, I mean like little, he had to be like 2. And we would go way out, and they would have the signs. They would literally have horse and carriage signs on the road.
Wow.
Yes, we we would see them in their buggy with the horse going like it was freaking 1788. And it's so funny because my ex-husband would be like, "Oh, a buggy!" Like we would all get all excited, like, "Oh my god!" So I get it. Like I get what you mean about, is it
Yeah.
real? Is it not like?
And I want to be like, I'm
I would
real.
with the Amish. Like I was so fascinated. I'd be like, "Oh my god!" Or they would take the train a lot. They would take
Wow.
Amtrak a lot. And I would see them, and like the dude would have his beard and he would have his hat and the suspenders and everything, and I would just be like, literally. Like,
I'm
oh
just
my
like,
god.
because that's exactly that man's face. And so I just want to one day I'm just going to be like, I'm real, take a photo, or I'm just going to do something crazy, like just so he will not know what to do. Probably I'm going to be like, hey,
Girl,
how you doing? Or something. I don't
no, next
know.
time I come to Japan, I need to come to the house so that way we can just sit and wait.
He would not know what
So
to do.
we can both pop out and I can be like, "Hey, Beyonce,"
He lives right over there too. Right over there. He lives right over there. And every time he's just like, is it real? Are you real? Just like I could throw some coins in his
yeah.
So that's just the stuff you would experience over here. But one thing I do enjoy doing is when I go to the supermarket, usually this only really happens at Costco for the most part,
Okay.
or like big supermarkets. People be looking at what's in your buggy. Do they do that in the States?
I think I do that sometimes. I mean, I actually do. I think I'll look sometimes, and kind of compare, and I'll be like, "Damn, you got a lot of vegetables. I don't have many vegetables. I need more vegetables." Like I feel like it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant, you've ordered your food already, but then you see the table next to you and they getting their food, and then you look and you be like, "Damn, I should have ordered that." Like I feel like it's that kind of thing.
I see that. Like you're like, oh, that looks next time. Yeah, I can see that.
Right.
So every time I'm at Costco, first of all, in and out, in and out. Like I just, it's struggle. It's stressful. There's so many people, and in Japan, and probably not in the States. I feel like it's not like this in the States. I feel like people go to Costco in the States to just buy stuff. But in Japan, they go for dates. Like people go there, like moms meet up and walk around with their kids. They'll even have it on TV shows where they'll show like a great first date is to take someone to Costco. You can shop together and then eat in the food court. It's just like, if you're taking me to Costco on a date, this is not going to work out, sir. We are
I
not
can't
a
say I can
match.
see a romantic date. I definitely have seen moms meet up there like a mom group, but they'll have the kids because it's cheap, like it's food, but
Mm.
they'll eat on the outside. Like,
Hmm.
oh, let's meet up at Costco. We'll get the kids hot dogs or whatever, blah blah. And they, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
but my whole thing is, it's like, yeah, that's cute and all, but it's a Costco. It ain't like there's a playground. I'm like, your kids gonna run in the
Right.
parking lot, like, I have
That's
seen
my
that.
whole thing.
I, I
Yeah, that's
I've
my whole
definitely seen that, and I've been
it
like,
would not
oh,
be
okay.
enjoyable.
I've seen like maybe like older women. I would say
Mhm.
maybe in their 60s. I
Mhm.
have seen them do it. Them I could understand because you're not
Yeah.
watching kids. I
Right.
gotta get that, but no, there's no date,
I'm
no
talking
date.
about with the kiddies, young people swinging,
Yeah,
holding hands, just no basket, just walking down the aisle,
walking
pointing
through
at
town.
stuff. No basket in the Costco. Just I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. So when I go, I have a plan. I'm definitely gonna check the new
Yeah,
stuff, but I'm
yeah,
in there to get my 3 or 4 things
things and
and then
go.
leave.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that like sometimes when I'm looking at stuff, I will see other Japanese people, and this is usually going to be like older, not older, like my age or older,
Mm.
married couples. It's always the husband, it's always a Japanese husband be looking at my basket to see what I'm getting because they see me as a foreigner, and
Mm.
they'll be like, and they'll even comment, they'll be like, mite, mite, mite. Like look over there, what she has in her basket. And so I used to just switch it up sometimes and just put some random shit in there. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna walk around the store and then go put it back. But I
Kelsey got a whole Kelsey got a whole TV in there.
or just other random. But
Medication
I just thought that was
package,
so. They'll never ask you like,
laptops.
and that's the thing. Like in the States, like I feel like you can go up to people and just ask them, like,
Yeah.
in the grocery store, like, hey.
Yeah.
I see you and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to cook this for dinner. Have you cooked this before? Because I see you have it. And people
Yeah.
will be, for
Yeah.
the most part, kind and be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's good. Or don't try this. This one's better.
Right.
And I have tried to do that in Japan, in Japanese. And people are just like, once or twice, there's been like a mom that told me, this miso paste was good, or no, you should try this one, or
Right.
this is the meat you should use.
Right.
But more times out of 10, it'll be like someone like, why are you talking to me? And also it's mortifying for like my kid. She'll be like, you just talk to anybody. And I'm like, well, she a grandma. She's obviously cooked for several generations. I feel like she would know what soy sauce is better to use than
Right.
me, And
Right.
she's like, oh,
But I feel
just
like they don't even. I feel like they don't even do that with each other, though.
they don't.
Like,
They
so
don't.
of
Yeah.
course it's gonna seem strange when you have a foreigner do it. But I think it's because that is not a part of their culture to have
Mm.
someone who isn't a part of their culture. It's, I want to say, excusable, or it's just like, oh well, the foreigner asking me. That's what they do. Vote the
If
wrong
someone
way, ruin the economy. It's what they do.
if someone asked me
You
in the
know,
store which one I would buy, which I think has happened to me once in all these years, I would legit be like, oh, yeah, I would get that
buy
one.
that one, buy this one.
I
Yeah,
would get that.
but I think that's what we do culturally. I think that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, were we together when someone asked what to buy for the as a gift for someone, omiyage for someone? Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that was me and Shore. I
No,
can't remember. We were in some candy shop and I was like, I don't eat candy like that.
no, it
But
wasn't.
she was super,
It wasn't
she
me.
was super like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but do you know what candy would be a good gift to bring to people in America?
And
And she
notice
was
she
going,
asked you, like she going to
yeah,
it.
she
So
asked me,
well,
and I
that's
was
what I'm
just like,
saying. So
I was
she
actually like,
knows.
is
She
there another
knows to
foreigner?
ask the foreign
Hmm.
person. Don't ask the Japanese person, even though I'm
Yes.
Japanese. Yes, they. I'm telling you, it's like this is not a part of my culture. Let me assimilate to their culture real quick and ask them
Hmm.
because that's what they do. They like talking and making small talk in the grocery store and in Costco. While we
But
go
then
on
it's
dates.
like, and then you're right, the small talk. But then it's like, when I went to the entrance ceremony for Shore's school, there was another foreign dad there, and you know, I didn't talk to him because his wife was Japanese, and obviously I kind of felt and I could be completely wrong, but the vibe that she was giving was, this is my husband, like, don't talk to him, foreigner. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe I had it wrong, but I was definitely, let me tell you, I talk a lot, but there are many days where I revel in I enjoy my peace, and it's not every foreigner that I see that I need to talk to. So I
Right,
can ignore him. He could be on fire, and I would be like, bacon. I smell it somewhere. Like
right,
I just, so I didn't say anything. And then her dad was like, "Oh, you didn't talk to the other foreigner." And I had to explain, like, I don't need to talk to every foreigner that I see. But
right,
obviously, also, he didn't seem like he wanted to be talked to. And his wife also seemed
right,
very,
right.
like, controlling of the situation. Now, if it was a foreign wife, I feel like I would always be open to talking to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
But I feel
No,
like some women can be kind of weird about you talking to,
I agree. I
you
agree.
know?
So I can definitely say that, especially being single for as many years as I have been, um, I definitely have felt that weird, and it's not even. This is like across the board. It has nothing to do with being in Japan or being in America, but I've
Hmm.
definitely felt that oh, you smiling a little too much at my husband. And it's like, but I smile at everybody. I'm smiling
Everybody,
at you
yeah.
right now. It's like, um, or, I'm a threat because I'm single, when really it's not that I'm a threat because I'm single, it's you feel like I'm a threat because you're insecure, you know,
Mm,
or you feel like I'm a threat because maybe your husband has been unfaithful and you think he's going to be
mm,
unfaithful again, so you want to
yeah.
blame me and say it, I've definitely had that happen where and the thing is I've tried to actually interact with try to interact with the wife, try to interact, especially
Yeah.
if you go to my kid's school and
Hmm.
your child and my child are friends, like I try my best, but if you giving me that vibe, I'll be like, you know what, we just not gonna talk. I'm gonna, sir, I give you the head nod. I acknowledge you, but it's not gonna be no talking. It's not gonna be no, like I don't get that, and that's not every wife, that's not every married couple, obviously. Um, but that's definitely something that I have experienced and continue to experience because like
Mm.
I said, I'm single, so of course it must be me. Like, yeah, my whole thing is like everybody don't want your husband. Your husband is
No,
not
no, not
attracted.
even.
Your husband is attracted to you and only
Yes.
you. Like you don't want
Yes.
him. Like everybody don't want him. Like
This is facts. This is facts.
that's again. I get it. I've been on both sides where I've let my insecurity get the best of me, and I've been on the receiving end where someone has been insecure, and I felt that, and I'm just
Wow.
like, what the hell is going on? Like I literally was talking to the both of y'all. I wasn't just talking to him, but all
Mm,
right. So I just want to talk to y'all no more. I'm not getting in the middle of people's
right.
relationships. So you know.
That is true. Well, let me ask you another question since we're on, like, the topic of kids. So, my younger daughter met a kid at the playground. The girls in her class, they enjoy playing together. She doesn't ever remember people's names, but she remembered this little girl's name. So we wrote her a note, and I put my line address, my line email, my
Hmm.
name in there so that to the mom. And then the mom added me online and was like, our kids can play together, da 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 da. So we're talking, we're trying to figure out a date. So in every message, she puts my kid's name in katakana, which is essentially like spelling it wrong. So it's a foreign name, a foreign sounding name. My kid's name is Coral. So like coral in the ocean, but her legally registered name is in hiragana. Also,
Yes.
at the school, the paper that has everybody's name on it is in hiragana. There's
Okay.
no katakana above it. It's hiragana. Like
Okay.
there are other children who have names in hiragana as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, maybe it's just because she doesn't know. So every time I write back to her, I write the name
Right in
correctly.
hiragana, yeah.
I write it in hiragana correctly. And I never say like, hey, you spelled my kid's name wrong. And this is something that happens to people a lot here because I posted this online in a mom's group and people were like, oh yeah, that is annoying as hell. Like that's happened to me. Even the kids will have a kanji as a name and they'll still put the kid's name in, like they'll have a traditional Japanese character as their name, but they'll put the kid's name in katakana, which is basically for foreign words, things that are from other countries.
Right.
So like I'm trying to think of something like coffee would be like kohi. It's written in katakana or like things that are foreign, right?
Yeah.
So I also noticed in the parents line group, she also and other parents had also put my daughter's name in katakana. And normally I'd be like, I don't really care. But every time I respond, I would write it in hiragana. And so I feel like people would know. Also, I feel like your keyboard, like when you type it in, don't you have to switch the keyboard to a kata? Like I'm thinking about it. And I thought, well, maybe I'm thinking about it too seriously. And then my actual older daughter was like, no, it's like if you were to spell someone's kanji wrong. So like Saito, the last name Saito can have different spellings.
Right.
So if you spelled it with the wrong kanji, the person would probably write back and be like, oh, this is actually my
it's
kanji.
spelled this way. Yeah.
It's spelled this way. And or if they didn't want to call you out on it, they might just write it back in the next message correctly. And you would be like, ooh, I spelled it wrong. You would notice. So I've done this like 3 or 4 times. This chick still keeps putting my kid's name in katakana. And I have not hung out with her and her daughter yet. So, you know, I'm not going to be too upset about it. But in that situation, like, what would you do? Because the moms group, people were like, I would write it back. They said, write back in Japanese. The correct spelling of my child's name is this. So I would appreciate it if you spelled it this way, you know? And I was like, I don't know. Kelsey would do that, but Kelsey anywhere else in the world would do that. But would Kelsey in Japan do that? Would that seem like a little bit rude? But then, like I said, Shore said, no, that's spelling someone's name wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with Shore and I agree with the moms group. You need to correct that immediately because my thing is, like you said, one time, okay, yeah, you mess it up. Like people spell Messiah's name incorrectly all the time. Like his name is spelled traditionally like a Japanese name because he has a Japanese name. His name is Messiah, Masaya. But I can understand why people will spell his name Messiah because they equate Messiah to
with that
Christianity, to the Messiah. Like that's what I get it. So I have to usually say, you know, what I'll do is I'll write it back. Like you said, I'm like, oh yeah, Messiah. And I spell it that way, you know, the way it's supposed to be spelled. And then people are like, oh, you know, oh, okay. You know. So the fact that you did that is she didn't do it the first time. And you said, what? She done did it like 3-4 times.
Girl, yeah, and I don't know if it's just she hasn't noticed
3-4 times with me. After that second time, after I done told you, I done wrote you and said, hey, this is how it's supposed to look. Now I have to say something because you're obviously ignoring what I'm trying to tell you. So now I have to be like, so for clarification, this is how my child's name is spelled. And this is how you need to spell it from now on. And if it continues, then she and I need to have a conversation separately from the group, you know.
Yeah.
That's just me, you know.
Would you wait until you actually like hang out or
No,
something, or would you just know?
no,
Okay, okay.
no,
Because I'm just like, maybe
no,
she hasn't noticed, maybe she hasn't. But I'm like, also like, it's on the paper with all the
no,
classmates'
no.
names in it.
Like I
When I
said,
wrote the, yeah.
one time, yeah,
Hmm.
2 times, but like after that, no, no, no.
Hmm.
You just being rude, you just being ignorant and lazy, or having your own whatever assumptions. Like, no, you need to be corrected. You
Mm.
need to be corrected.
Mm.
That's one thing I will say. Yes, my son. Speaking of Messiah.
I was also gonna say, like, also because my
Oh, I'm sorry. Guest appearance by Messiah. Come on,
Dun,
Messiah.
dun.
I was also gonna say because my name and also in Japanese doesn't use like the usual kanji. It uses like different kanji that are not usually used for Masaya because like my dad used different kanji even stemming from kanji that aren't usually used in Japanese, more so used in Chinese. So definitely both ways, like even my last name too,
Mm.
because I have both English and a Japanese last name. So it's I definitely get um like a lot of misspellings with my name. But even still, like
Mm.
after like that long, I feel like it would definitely be very, very annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Guest appearance.
annoying.
Thank you.
I'm glad
Yes,
to hear
guest
he's on my
appearance by
side. Thank
Messiah.
you. Thank you. Because I was thinking, am I being that person, that mom, that petty person? I
No,
really
no, no.
just want to be
I
like, I don't understand why you
so,
keep doing
so
it
this is
wrong.
what I was gonna say. I feel like, and I can say this for myself as somebody who lived in Japan, not somebody who visited, like your influencer people, like, oh my gosh, Japan. And I'm not somebody who fetishizes Japan. Oh my gosh, Japan. Don't get me wrong. I love Japan. Japan is my second home, but I also lived there. I lived there. Visiting a place and living in a place are two totally different things. And I can say, living there, I definitely assimilated to the culture where you don't speak up because you think, oh, I'm
Mm.
being rude. Oh, I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, but sometimes you've got to bring out that American in you. Now, that's one thing I would, especially Black America, not Karen America, but Black America, I have to say, we gonna say something. We gonna be like, hold on.
Yeah.
You don't have to be nasty about it. And that's the thing. I feel like people will equate you speaking up for yourself as being mean, or like you said, am I
Mm.
being petty, or like it's that shouldn't be associated with me speaking up for myself. Like, I'm the
Mhm.
only voice I got. I'm the only advocate I got. So I need to speak up for myself. I need to speak up for my children, you know. And I think Japan, because it's such a non-confrontational type of environment when it comes to those things, you feel like, oh my God, if I say something, no, I'm supposed to wear the mask,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Samurai spirit. We gonna keep this mask on, and that's what
Mhm.
we gonna do. And then we get home, we gonna bitch about it, we gonna drink ourselves to death, we gonna throw up in the toilet at 4 a.m. and then we gonna go back to work and put that mask back on. Culturally, that's just
Mhm.
how it is, you know. And I think especially when you've lived in that country for so long, you do have to sometimes remember to detach and be
Mhm.
like, wait a second, like, no, I'm not being unreasonable, or oh, I'm not being petty. I'm like, no, like,
Yeah.
I don't like this, so I need to say something. But again, it's like, you don't have to be nasty, you don't have to cuss her out, you don't have to, but just like, hey, hi.
By the way,
So stop doing this. Thank you so much.
yeah, I was just like, oh. So I definitely feel more confident in my choice because I said I did send a message out. So I
Good.
just, because it was irritating me,
Yeah.
and I was like, petty Kelsey would have just replied back with everybody's children's names in katakana. Since we're using katakana
Okay.
for
Now
my
that
child,
now that is petty.
everybody,
That's
everybody, it's about to be
And I'm not
Masako.
mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's like, okay, you want to put my child's name in katakana? I'm gonna
Everybody,
put your child
Toru.
in katakana.
Everybody
Matter of
was
fact,
about to be
I'm gonna
katakana.
put everybody's child's name in katakana. Yes, that's a hand clap for pettiness.
It was gonna be that way, and then I was, I was like, wait, let me, how you sometimes have to step back from your actions and think, and I did that, and I was like, that's a bit much. You don't want to be that petty.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So yeah, because I was about every child was about to be katakana. Y'all all about to have some foreign names up in here.
All of y'all.
Hot Nako. Everybody was about to be foreigner.
Fine.
So that but this is like, I don't know, it's just things that happen here. And it's not, I don't know if it's really a microaggression, but it just irritated me. So
yeah, I would definitely call that microaggression. Because again, like I said, it would be one thing if it happened once or twice. But when you start getting into, this the third time this done happened, and I've corrected you, I've sent you the correct spelling, I've sent you the correct character, and you still are doing it. No, that's definitely microaggression. Like, nah, I don't. And people don't want to talk about that either. People don't want to talk about like the nice nastiness you get in Japan. Because y'all want to romance Japan somehow. Japan, it's utopia. No, they nice nasty. Or they can just even be nasty. I've definitely seen that. I haven't experienced it to an extent, but I've definitely seen the nastiness come out, and the meanness, and the racistness, and the colorism. I've seen that come out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is definitely big here, because they
come out, and
will
again,
show
like, I
the
don't,
ugly side.
And again, for me, like I said, that's not something that personally I have experienced. I will always say that when it comes to that, my experience in Japan has always been something wonderful. And I'm thankful. Like, I've never had to experience those things, but just because I didn't experience it don't mean somebody else didn't, like, I happened to see this young lady on TikTok. She went to Japan. She just came across my FYP and went to Japan, and she was saying like this was a place I had always wanted to go, and She was like, but I wasn't happy when I was there. She was like, the staring, like some people hate that. They hate that staring. Like they hate. She was not happy with the staring. She was just like, people weren't friendly, and she just didn't have a good experience. She didn't. Her experience was not a good one. She said it was beautiful. She was happy she went, but overall she was like, the way y'all making it out to be is not the way it is. But then
was she in the city? Was she in like Tokyo or Osaka? Where was she? Did she say?
I think she was in Tokyo. I believe she was. I believe she was in the city. But also I do have to say this, because there have been such a influx of foreign tourists, and some of these foreign tourists just don't know how to act, or are just outright disrespectful. I can understand why so many Japanese people are like, yeah, get these foreigners up out of here. Like I even, while I was there, had we talked about it before. I had
you did mention it.
To check this lady, and the thing is, it's like, she wasn't American, because people always want to be like, oh, the Americans. I'm like, no, it's foreigners in general. All of us are acting up right now, and being disrespectful in this country. Like, I had to check her, real quick. So it's definitely an issue. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I think just as people start to travel outside of their own countries, they really just need to, just have some consideration and respect for where they're going, and what is the norm. And it's like, you're not going to get beat down if you're walking with a drink on the street. Like, despite whatever anybody posts
Right.
online, if you're walking with like, a drink and you're drinking while you're walking on the street, nobody's going to like send you to jail. You're not going to get beat down.
Right.
But there are certain things that you like. My pet peeve is the noise in the train. Like, it is my peaceful time. And if y'all talking super loud, playing music, trying to do your dance, like, let's save that for New York, because that's the norm there. But here,
Yeah.
people in the train, they trying to sleep before they have to go back to work for,
Go back
12
to that
hours.
20-hour shift.
Yeah,
like, like,
or this is the only time they get away from their children and they're trying to
like,
sleep.
But I think that's another thing, because like, again, social media, people want to go viral. Like, it's so like, Andy Warhol ain't never lied when he said everybody gonna have their 15 minutes of fame. He ain't never lied. He ain't never lied, because people want so bad to be seen and want to be famous. And don't get me wrong, it's not everybody, but they want that viral moment. It just takes one video. I just need one video. And it doesn't matter if the video, and at this point, it doesn't matter if the video is like good context or if it's rage bait, if it's clickbait, because
it's just a video.
All they want is the clicks. All you want is as long as they click in, as long as they commenting, as long as they watching the video all the way through, as long as your engagement is up. It don't matter if they saying all the nastiest, hateful things. If people are just like, they don't care. They don't care. They just want. They want. It's another addiction, I feel.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. I think though, like, when it comes to certain things, it doesn't like, certain things don't bother me. Like, when I do see, like, people just casually talking on the train, that's not a big deal. But like you said, the clickbaity stuff, like people playing music or yelling at people,
doing flips in the dance station, where I'm like, the hell are you doing? The hell are you doing? Like, because, and that's crazy. Like, it just it grinds my gears, because I understand that their audience, especially the one who like I said, want to do the damn dances on the train, and want to do it in the station, want to stop in the middle of the road, and their audience is they're my kids' age. Like, it's the preteens. It's the the elementary school kids who be on YouTube Kids and stuff like that. It's the high school, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers. That's your main audience, because kids don't care. Kids are just like, right. The rest of us who, our frontal lobe is actually developed.
You said the frontal lobe is developed.
Like, we're just like, the hell is you grown? You 38 years old doing this? You 40 something years old doing this? What? Like,
these were the choices you made.
Something like like, just be like, the hell is wrong with you? Like, but I have to remember that the kids who are clicking are kids. They're literally kids clicking. They are thinking like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is so fun, because they don't know no better. Right. They don't know. They don't know no better. Like
you said, their frontal lobe isn't really, and that is very true. That's very true.
It's again, it is an addiction. Like, just, I want to go viral. I want to, click on my thing, subscribe to my page, like it just and
it's true.
And that's really,
I get it.
It really just comes back down to my whole thing. You are what you eat. And when I say you are what you eat, I don't just mean food. What are you consuming? What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What environment are you in? That's all of that's feeding you, and then this is why people wonder why we in the position we in. It's because of the things we're consuming, the things we're eating, wild. And I'm at an age, 44. I don't have time.
Mhm.
I
You're
don't
like,
have time for
you're like, I'm
foolishness.
over this. I think that it brings us to a good okazu. And what I wanted to ask you, since we're talking about like, just stuff that we see online and in real life, and things that are what you consume, like you are what you consume. I fully agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, hopefully you're not always consuming trash. Sometimes it's every once in a while it's funny, but
Right.
recently I've definitely tried to get into things that are positive that will help me.
Mm.
And so on Instagram, I follow this old Japanese man. His name is Toru Dance.
Uh-huh.
This is a salary man that just like after he gets off of work at Tokyo Station, he goes like out into the park nearby
Yeah.
and puts on different music and just dances. He is getting his best life in, just dancing.
Aw.
He inspires me. Like he just makes me I want to meet him. He just makes my heart like just flutter. I love this old man. He's
Aw.
somebody's grandpa or almost grandpa,
Right.
and he just dances. And then people will send request songs to him. They'll be like, dance this.
Oh,
And he
cute.
dances to everything. He dances to, I'm talking about like Tupac and, Megan the Stallion. He dances to like the OJs. He dances to
Oh,
like,
send me
all
his
sorts of,
account because I would like to see that.
yes. He makes, and then sometimes other people will join him in the park. And
Aw.
I think it's like people that have messaged him or whatever. But it really makes me smile when I see him dance because he just
Aw.
regular old salary man that just got off work, put his briefcase down, went in the park, and was like,
And he said, I'm about to dance.
yeah, get my stress out. And then I recently saw where it looks like he got a commercial deal,
Oh, good for
for
him.
so just like from things like that. And there is one other lady who I love her to death. I think her name is my story my storybook maybe is her name.
Mhm.
She is this Asian lady. I'm not sure. She might be in Canada or the United States. I'm not sure where she is. But
Mhm.
she stands in her little library, like your little library there, and she points out books and she's like, this book is what
Yes,
you
you do.
should.
You do post those. I do
That's
like
she's my
those.
best friend. She just
I
doesn't
do
know.
like those.
She talks about like this book. She's not political in any sense, or she doesn't give an opinion. She's like, if you want to know more about autism or you want to explain
Yeah.
autism to your children, this is a great storybook right here.
Yeah.
Or it's AAPI month. These are great books to, tell your children about that. And that's all she does. She introduces books. And that lady has put me into debt because all the books I have bought from seeing them on her Instagram, my children love them.
Love
They
them.
love her recommendations. And they don't even realize that what she's doing. Oh, Alexa, stop. She's over there. Thank you.
I know.
They
Gonna come get you.
they don't she doesn't
Gonna come get you.
my children don't know that I'm like pulling the books from this lady's IG, but I
I
love.
love that
So
though.
do you have anybody that you follow that you just really feeds you and makes
Um,
you feel happy?
um,
Gives you
I
that kind
do.
of we are what we
I've got
consume.
quite a few, but you know what? Honestly, mine's is
Mhm.
kind of general at the moment because my whole timeline right now, whether I'm on YouTube, whether I'm on Instagram, whether I'm on TikTok, it's just nothing but Sinners content from the movie Sinners, which I've seen 3 times.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it is literally like Rocky Road to Dublin. That's all I've been singing for like days
I have
now.
to check that out because
I
people
might
have been
pull up the
talking about
IMDb.
it. Yeah,
It's
how good it
amazing. And
is.
then it's the start of Beyonce's new tour. So that's all down my timeline. And then stuff from Kendrick Lamar and SZA's tour. So that's all down my timeline. So it's just honestly my whole timeline is just black excellence. Even the political stuff is not coming in. It's just Sinners, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. That's it. Like that's all that's coming in, and I'm like, this is wonderful. This was the
That may be all you really need to see at this
this
point,
was
right?
a cleanse right now. But yeah, I definitely have accounts like how you follow that. They just make you feel good, and you just like, oh, I like this. I was like, I'm gonna have a good day, you know. But right now,
Yeah.
that's all it is, y'all. Sinners, Beyonce, and Kendrick.
Well, I have seen the Beyonce and the Kendrick, but Sinners, I've heard so many people talk about this movie, so obviously it's got to happen sooner or later for me, because everyone, and I mean across the board, from like my own family to just like random people I meet at work, everybody's talked about it, so it must be
so good,
amazing.
It's so, like I said, I've seen it 3 times. I've seen it 3 times. Like I was blessed enough to see it in testing form. But last
was
done.
that was,
yep. I was that.
You couldn't talk about
it. Couldn't sign that NDA. Couldn't talk about it. But then I saw it again opening weekend, and it's so funny because there was an issue with the screen, so they ended up giving us like readmitting passes. So then I saw it again for free. Like it was like, yeah. So
wow.
I can't speak more highly of it. It's excellent. It's excellent. And like I said, Rocky Road to Dublin is my new theme song. Literally, like my kids can tell you, that's all I mean. Enough to reap the corn.
And is that from Sinners?
Yep.
Okay.
The song is in Sinners, but the song is a traditional
Irish
song.
Okay, so that's why Messiah was like, earlier we were talking about languages, and I said he was talking about German, and all I know is, Du hast, we know from the song. Man. Guten Tag, that's it. And then he said Irish, and you started singing, and I was like, oh, that's the Irish jig we have there. Yep. But no, it's from the movie too as well.
Yes.
That's good to know. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check it out because I've heard so many people talk about Sinners, so I'm gonna have to check it out. For sure.
Folks, go see it if you haven't gone see it, and go see it again even if you did. So
for sure. Well, that is the show today, y'all. Thank you as always for joining us. Follow us, of course, like and subscribe. We will be here next time.
We'll be
Hit
here.
us with your questions. Yeah.
Send us questions, the feedback, whatever y'all need. And again, I'm sorry about my big ass forehead and my ring.
It's really not that. Yeah, it's really not big.
Off to reap the corn and live where I was born.
I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah.
I like how it's rhyming there.
That's how it go. I'm so proud of myself for learning that first slow part. After that, it get real fast, and I can't keep up. But
you can't keep up. Got it.
Can't keep up. I try. I be trying to read the lyrics like, no, that ain't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I try.
I have to see it in Sinners. I'm gonna definitely check it out because like I said, so many people have talked about it. Okay.
All right.
Until next time, you guys. Thanks. This has been Melinda and Kelsey with Collard Greens and Sushi.
See
you next time.
Bye, y'all. Off the
Bye.
Bye.